What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video, we are going to be reacting to Ty's awards for NBA 2K21 MyTEAM Season 2. So we reacted to his awards for NBA 2K21 Season 1, and we are now doing it for Season 2. So yeah, basically, if you guys aren't subscribed to Ty, subscribe to my link will be in the description to his channel. But yeah, so we are going to see what he decides to pick for his awards and what awards he decides. I'm pretty sure he does like most overrated player, like all tier team stuff like that.
What is good, yo?
All right, let's see. Okay.
We obviously got John Wall.
Cheesiest players.
John Wall is on here just because he is a rim.
Okay. Okay. So you've got John Wall, who's basically just unguardable. I mean, surely Blake over Braun though. Surely point center Blake over LeBron James. But I don't disagree with Zion. I think Zion next gen is nowhere near as good as Zion current gen. John Wall is just a god. With speed glitching, with the contact dunk animations, John Wall's ridiculous. I mean, of these three players, if you're just talking about purely the cheesiest, I'd probably go John Wall, but I think Blake probably over all of these. I take Blake over all these.
Running point guard that is so tough to stop. He's not even a great shooter, but he's
Wall's the best rim runner in the game. He is the best rim runner in the game. It's not even close.
Ability. The next card is Zion Williamson. I don't need to explain much.
Release broken next gen though. Release is broken on next gen.
He's one of the best defenders in the game, and just an all-around super glitchy as he is a glitch.
I don't know. Ty knows more about defense than I do.
The last player on this cheesiest list award. And the thing about LeBron is he just got dropped a little bit before Zion. Zion is basically everything that LeBron.
I mean, I wouldn't put LeBron on this list. I would not put LeBron on this list.
The rim as well as having Pro 8. Zion has a way better release, a way better shooter, and it's just.
I think there's just so few LeBrons. There's maybe 30 LeBrons in the world. Like, he's almost as rare as one of those signature limited cards from 2K19. Like, he's so rare. I would honestly put. I'd have Blake in there. I'd have Blake in there, and I'd have Blake winning the whole thing.
Play styles are a little bit different.
I'd have Blake win the whole thing.
You could go with LeBron, you could go with Zion, or you could go a different option in the rim running point guard of John Wall. For me personally, give me Zion Williamson over John Wall and LeBron as just the most cheesy card.
I mean, I get it, but Blake over both.
The defensive player of the year. You got Dave.
Ooh. It's a tough one because Giannis does not exist. That Giannis was season 1. I go Smith. I go Smith here. I have not used Dave Cowens enough to have an opinion on him, but Smith over Jalen. Although I think Jalen is a better player, Smith's a better defender.
First of all, you got to lock in the Halloween set for Dave Cowens. Then you get Jaylen Brown, who badged out Jaylen Brown on the defensive end is absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, Jaylen Brown's quality. He's so good.
Look at his stats, look at his badges, and tell me he's not a top defender.
He's so good.
Then you got Josh Smith, 6'9", power forward, small forward. He's super fast, super good defensive combinations. And there's nothing else there that is left to be. These three are some of the top defensive players.
I'm going to have to say Smith.
Game, yes, you could put Zion on here. You could put Grant Hill on here. But I think what Jaylen Brown gives you as far as a perimeter defender is just a little bit more.
Is he on Brown? Cowens? Hold on. Let's just have a look here. Let's have a look here at Dave. And also goal clamps. Can you get interceptor? You can get interceptor. Okay. Badged out Dave Cowens. I'll give you that one, Ty. I'll give you that one. You're right on that. He can guard anybody. He can literally guard anybody in the game.
Because he's a little bit expensive, I don't like his release. And there's just a couple of things about
I'll agree with that. I'll give you that one.
He is absolutely incredible. The next award is the most overrated player in this.
There is only one choice. This guy is straight garbage. James Harden is straight garbage. I'm sorry. If you like James Harden, that's perfectly fine. Just if you like James Harden, just get the amethyst. This card is straight garbage. You've got the third best card in the game. You've got Kawhi, who's, I mean, who thinks Kawhi's good? Who genuinely thinks Kawhi is good in this game? And then James Harden is just, he's a million MT for nothing.
With Pink Diamond, J.R. Smith,
he's a million for nothing.
Nothing to really be said here. JR is super good, but when we're talking about overrated, and as far as compared to what MT they go for, JR is. I
mean, by that logic, he's not as expensive as Dr. J. Like, he's basically the same price as Harden. Harden's not that much cheaper than locking in for JR. JR is the same price as Dr. J, and JR is better than Dr. J. Like, value, we're not talking about the worst value. If you want to talk about worst value, fair enough. But man, overrated. JR is one of the top. You can't put JR outside. I have him number 3. You cannot put him outside of the top 5 with a straight face. You cannot have him, keep him with a straight face out of your top 5 cards in the game. Yes, he's too expensive, but like, he's so much better than Harden, and he's not that much more expensive than him.
Man, obviously he can shoot the ball well. He's a great player, but when you're comparing him to some of the other guys for the MT that JR goes for, a lot of people overhype this card to the max.
He's very expensive. He's the 3rd to 5th best card in the game.
James Harden, and I feel like the reason James Harden's so overrated is because he's in that set and that needed to be locked in for those Hall of Fame badges. Now, nobody really plays James Harden because they think he's good, and that's...
I mean, Harden's garbage. Harden's a garbage man.
Putting him at the top of the most overrated, but there's no doubt about it. For his overall, even, and for how hyped up he was to start with, he is definitely overrated. And the last card is he's not an expensive card in Kawhi Leonard, but anytime I see Kawhi on the court, I love it, man.
Kawhi's not good. Kawhi's not, just straight up, Kawhi's not good. No one's going to use Kawhi.
He's not one of the top defenders in the game, although eventually he will be once he just gets a little bit faster. But he's just not, his speed rating's not where it needs to be.
He's going to go to JR, isn't he?
On this list for the most overrated. But in my opinion,
no, Ty. He's one of the best cards in the game. If you wanted to rename it most overpriced or worst value card, you know what? You can have a point there. He's one of the top 5 cards in the game. He's at the best behind the back in the game. 96 driving dunk. Next gen gets contacts. Gets as Hall of Fame range extender, which on next gen means he can literally shoot from the halfway line. Current gen, it's still crazy. I just don't see how he's not top 5.
J.R. Smith, no question about it, is the most overrated player in this season 2. He's very good, but a lot of people are paying way too much MT for this.
Overpriced, yes. Overrated, no.
The most underrated players, we got Pink Diamond, Patrick Ewing, and if you've ever...
You gotta give it to Larry. You gotta give it to Larry. Pat's, like, Ewing's good, but he's like slightly better Ralph Sampson. He's faster Ralph Sampson, basically. Brandon Ingram. I mean, Brandon Ingram sucks on current gen. He's fine on next gen. Don't get me wrong. Brandon Ingram's fine on next gen. He sucks on current gen. And... yeah, I don't know.
I am playing with Patrick Ewing. He does a lot of great things on the
If I'm going underrated, I'm going with a guy that I've never seen before, and Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson is the most underrated player in the game. Bruce Bowen, maybe? Actually, no, he was season 1. Glenn Robinson is will be my most underrated. Trying to think who else there is that would be in the really underrated category. I don't know. You know what? Diamond Russell Westbrook. He's actually good, and everyone thinks he sucks.
See,
he's really underrated as well, but Larry's right up there.
I don't know if there's a better one in the game than Pink Diamond Patrick Ewing. The next card that I'm going to talk about as far as being underrated, especially on next gen, is Brandon Ingram. An absolutely incredible release, knockdown shooter.
I mean, he's just objectively worse. He's literally just worse Jaylen Brown. Like, he is just literally worse Jaylen Brown on next gen.
Has Pro 2. He's very, very underrated. Now, I didn't like Brandon Ingram in past 2Ks. Last one is Larry Kenon. The thing about Larry that I love
budget Giannis.
Mini Giannis. He's not to Giannis' level because
Larry, no question. Out of these 3, Larry.
But as far as attacking the rim, being good on defense, Larry is a mini Giannis. But for me, no question about it. The unlimited reward.
Oh, I mean, it took one day and I made a video saying that this dude is actually a baller. People realized very quickly that this card was good. I wouldn't say he was underrated. Like, he was underrated based on the fact that we all saw Patrick Ewing and thought this card's going to suck. But I mean, it took us one day until people started getting him until we realized he was good. But man, Larry's got to be. Larry's got to be the most underrated there. Still, though, I do agree, like, we all thought Patrick Ewing was going to suck, and he just doesn't suck, so.
You have to win 68
I'm not going to
get him, but he is still underrated by most of the community in Pink Diamond.
Not going to say anything about that. He's good.
The top token reward from this season is very, very difficult, because we didn't really...
Yeah, because the top token reward's not there. It's Lou Hudson. Lou Hudson is... basically just way better Brent Barry. Lou Hudson shoots the ball well, he dunks the ball well, and he can get clumps. But out of these 3, I mean, Boobie Gibson's okay. Like, Daniel Gibson's okay. Brent Barry's pretty nice, so... I mean, Thompson's, like, objectively the best, but, like, one of these guys I'm not gonna saying wrong, but it's Lou Hudson's the best.
Token rewards added from season 1 to season 2. And remember, these are all season 2 awards. So like JoJo White can't be in here, obviously. And so you got David Thompson, who I don't think is really anything special. You got Brent Berry, who obviously is a Ruby, and then you got Boo Boo Gibson. But if we're talking about the guy that's the best for the tokens, I have no question in my mind. It's probably the cheapest guy on here.
I'm not gonna argue. He's best of the three of them.
To David Thompson, because I would never, ever encourage.
Yeah, don't lock in for any. JoJo's the only pink diamond that's good, by the way. JoJo's literally the only good pink diamond reward.
It's got to be Daniel Boo Boo Gibson. Then we go to the budget MVP. And this
Wait, he's called Boo Boo Gibson.
You got Nick Anderson and Ruby.
I need to look up this. Am I wrong or is Ty wrong? Am I wrong or is Ty wrong with that? No, it's Booby Gibson. It's good old Boo Boo Gibson, the god. But oh, this is a no-brainer. There's nobody that likes Andrea Bargnani as much as I do. This is a no-brainer. It's Nick Anderson. It is Nick Anderson.
Incredible. I know I love Nick Anderson. You guys know I love Nick Anderson. And
it's a no-brainer.
About the Nick Anderson card. Then you get a top 10.
France is good. Curry slide, bronze range, Duncan.
The top budget point guard in the game, in my opinion. Then you get to the center position. You got to stretch big with pretty good defensive badges. Guy that has bronze ranges. He's good. So you got a very, very good list of 3 guys here that are all great budget options. Would be, usable in a competitive type setting somewhat, in Bargnani at least. But Nick Anderson and Steve Francis definitely usable. But for me, there's no doubt.
I mean, Nick Anderson and Bargnani, they're all usable in a competitive setting. I'm telling you right now, they're all usable. Maybe Francis, maybe not Francis, because he doesn't really defend well enough to play against a competitive player. He's one of the best point guards in the game. But Nick Anderson and Bargnani can hold their own. But Nick, yeah, this is a no-brainer. Good call. No-brainer. Kevin Garnett next.
But there are also guys that some days I'm greening every shot.
Kevin Garnett.
Some days I love these cards, and other days I don't.
Kevin Garnett went from being my
So let's start off with
Kevin Garnett went from being like my number 1/2 big man in the game. I loved him. To him selling me for an entire 250k tournament and me rage selling him afterwards.
With Grant Hill. Let's throw back to 2K20 when Grant Hill was legitimately the most inconsistent player I had ever played with.
I mean, I still can't shoot with him.
This year, I don't mind him as much. I'm more green with him this year, minus the qualifier. I didn't green like anything with him. But in like competitive settings, especially from the corner catch and shoot wise,
I think Duncan's consistent though. I like Duncan.
And that's basically it. I will say his interior defense is another part of his inconsistency. Sometimes it looks like it should be a heavy, and he gets like a 4% contest on the interior. Then you get KG, and talk about KG on both ends. And he has all of the badges you could possibly want as far as interior defense. But again, I don't think he gets the contest. He has rim protector, but he just doesn't seem to me like he gets the contest a lot of times. But then some days he's the best defensive player on the court. As far as his release is pretty knocked down, but he doesn't have a super high 3-ball.
He's so inconsistent.
With KG
he has to win this award.
I've had Tim Duncan for a while, and some days he is legitimately my favorite center in the game.
I love Duncan. I love Duncan.
Days I just wish I would not have to play with the card. So when it comes down to the most inconsistent,
yeah, no brainer.
Give it to Kevin Garnett.
It has to be.
The reason being is because some days I like.
He is the most inconsistent shooter in this game. No brainer. It's Anthony Edwards.
You got Onyeka, you got Anthony.
But the funny thing is that you have a choice. You can either Evo Anthony Edwards up to a diamond card, or you can Evo him up to an amethyst. The last Evo, one of his Evos makes him a diamond, the other makes him an amethyst. I'm telling you right now, choose the amethyst one. The amethyst one is really good. The diamond one is not good. Onyeka Okongwu, Wiseman needs to be in there. Wiseman's a baller. I'm telling you, fully upgraded Wiseman is an absolute baller. LaMelo sucks. Killian Hayes isn't too bad. And you know what? Cole Anthony's not half bad either if you're playing on next gen. But Anthony Edwards number 1 without, like, it's not even a close one.
Edwards and you got Denny. Now, I've played with all of these.
Obi Toppin over Okongwu as well.
These Evos are really worth it. Like, that's the first thing I want to say. Is don't buy one of these emeralds hoping you can Evo them and for them to be a top card in the game, because it's just.
I mean, if you're playing next gen, Anthony Edwards and Wiseman are nice.
Are worth doing. None of these Evos are like an Elgin Baylor type level, for example. But when you get down to it, you got to see which stats improve the most, which players.
This is a no-brainer.
And when you look at everything, there's no doubt about it.
No-brainer. He is quality. He's absolutely quality.
Looking at the best auctionable player in general between.
I mean, Zion. Yeah, Zion.
Zion Williamson, Grant Hill, and LeBron James, and it's a very close race between these all between Zion, Grant Hill, and LeBron. The thing I love about Zion,
yeah, these would be my top 3.
Forward 6'6", he beats stuff up.
I'd maybe have T-Mac in there, but these would be like 3. These are literally, if you look at my top 100 list yesterday, these are my 3 and my top 4 auctionable players.
I don't know if it's because
I'm gonna say Zion.
Like he has a wide player model, he's good interior defense, decent up perimeter defender. I don't know, but he guards the opponent's point guard, whether it's Steph Curry, John Stockton, John Wall. I put my Zion on him, and he absolutely beats stuff up. Then you got Grant Hill.
Grant's good.
Guard for me.
Grant's good.
Again, he doesn't guard the primary ball handler for me because Zion does, but guards that secondary ball handler, another very good guy to have on the defensive end, even if he's not guarding the ball. Then on the offensive end, the Hall of Fame quick first step, Showtime, another just very absolutely incredible guy. Then
LeBron's LeBron. He's too expensive, though.
Expensive out of all of these, but another guy outside of his release that'll do everything on the court for you. If LeBron,
I will say this: if you're playing on next gen, LeBron's release is fine. His release is more than fine on next gen. He doesn't step inside 3-point line.
He might be my top player, but for me, it's
Zion
Williamson, no question about it.
Yeah, he's.
And then we're talking about the non-auctionable MVP, and what you got my most.
Balake Griffin next, surely. Yeah, Balake Griffin, no question. I like these guys right here. I love J.R. Smith. Cam Reddish is a god. Balake Griffin. This is another no-brainer right here.
Of this whole season, I like Blake Griffin more than Zion Williamson. Although I do still like Zion.
No-brainer. It's Blake.
Into our teams, and with the first one being the All Ruby.
Okay. I need to see something. See if I agree with this. So, easiest way to go about this 2K empty central. Ruby sort by they added. I mean, Pokuševski will be in. If you're playing next gen, Pokuševski will be in my team. CP3 definitely at the point guard. You know what? I'll give you that. It will be Pokuševski will be in instead of LaFrance for next gen, but current gen, you're right on the money.
Starting with the point
you're on for current gen. You are on the money.
I personally like his release. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I personally like his release.
CP3's release isn't bad.
All on the basketball court for you. Then you got Nick Anderson, who has, I think, bronze claims, has range.
Anderson's the best by a mile.
Can do it all at that shooting guard position. And I know a lot of people don't like Wig, but I absolutely love.
I mean, he's objectively fine.
LeBron can dunk on everybody and just gives you a versatile 3.
No, he's fine.
Barg, the inside duo. Obviously, I couldn't put a power forward in there, so
Pokuševski.
Centers in Rafe and Barg both have the ability to stretch the floor. I actually prefer Rafe's release to about
Pokuševski, the best, the demon, 99 speed on next gen.
2-point guard rotation here. Obviously,
let me have a look at this as well. I think he was on the money with the rubies. Let's see, was he on the money with the amethysts? So, okay, next now. There we go. We start off here. Dunleavy, Kirilenko instead of Keenan. Nah. I'll agree. Maybe Kirilenko instead of Keenan, but other than that, you're on the money. He's on the money.
Best budget point guard in the game. For his value, it's gonna be hard pressed to find a better guy.
Mitchell's a beast. Mitchell is a beast.
Than Steve Francis. Then you got Donovan Mitchell at the 2. Badged out Donovan Mitchell is scary. That's all I can say.
They're both beasts. Okay, so let's have a look at the all-diamond team. I'm going to say this right now. There is one major omission from this team. Cheap Zion. Glenn Robinson instead of Brandon Ingram. And it's not even close. There is no comparison between Glenn Robinson and Brandon Ingram. Glenn Robinson has a better release. He's got clamps. He's got gold range extender. He's got gold. Yes, Brandon Ingram's half quick for his step. Glenn Robinson has got gold quick for his step. Glenn Robinson, yes, dribble 6 might be a little bit worse, but Brandon Ingram's not that good either. Like, he's got Pro 2, but like, how big is Pro 2 this year? He is the one major omission. I'm probably going to agree with the rest, though. Duncan 1,000,000%. Is Rafer Olsen better than Monte? I'm going to say no. I'll say Monte's better. DeMar DeRozan, Tyreek, Evans, nah. No, I think you're right. I think you're right with all the other ones, but Glenn belongs. Glenn Robinson belongs over Brandon Ingram. He is so much better than him. So much better than Ingram. There is no question about that. And now on to the all pink diamond team. John Wall to 1, JR, Cam Reddish, Blake Griffin, and LeBron James. For cards that were released this season, you're probably on the money. You are probably on the money. Blake center, yeah. So we'll check if there have been any point guards that have been released. Because that's basically the only position where it might be a question. No, John Wall's the best this season. 1,000,000% John Wall's been the best this season. So, on the money again. I definitely paused on a weird spot for Ty. There we go. And yeah, that appears to be it. On the money with the teams. Like literally, cannot disagree with anyone on his Pink Diamond team. Cannot disagree with anyone on his Amethyst team. Cannot disagree with anyone on the All Ruby team. The only one that I really disagree with is that Glenn belongs instead of Brandon Ingram. And I'm hoping that he just forgot Glenn Robinson existed. That's all I'm hoping, is that he forgot that Glenn existed when he was picking his All Diamond team. But other than that, I think cheesiest has to go to Blake Griffin. I genuinely think cheesiest has to be Blake. Defense player of the year. I mean, he's probably right with counts. I haven't used him enough to really form, to really put him ahead of Josh Smith, because I do love Josh Smith on defense. Overrated. I mean, you just can't give it to J.R. Smith. Overpriced, yeah. Just out of those three, give it to Harden, but I know there might be overrated players. Underrated. I mean, not a bad choice with Ewing. Budget MVP, no-brainer. It's obviously Nick Anderson. Mr. Assistant, no-brainer. It's Kevin Garnett. Best Evo, no-brainer. Anthony Edwards. Auctionable MVP, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer, and it's Zion. And non-auctionable MVP, no-brainer, Blake. So, I agree with pretty much all of these. Except for the fact that Brandon Ingram over Glenn. Oh man, I just can't get behind Brandon Ingram over Glenn. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.